40%. That is the percent of NFL teams that have not won a Super Bowl. That number seems pretty high, right? I mean, the NFL has been around for over a century, and nearly half of the teams haven't won it all. I mean, the Ravens were established in 1996, kind of, and they already have 2 Super Bowl wins, and their first was just 5 years after they became a team. And still 12 teams haven't done it yet? Well, it's a bit more complicated than you might think. Let's break this down to see who is the oldest team to never win a Super Bowl, and why 12 teams still haven't won a Lombardi to this day. Now, even though the NFL is 104 years old as of this year, the Super Bowl has only been around for 57 of those years, and 4 of the 12 teams that haven't won it came into the league after it was made. The Bengals, Panthers, Jaguars, and Texans. And some of these teams definitely have some better excuses than others. Firstly, the Texans. I mean, they started professional play in 2002 and haven't exactly had the best luck since then. Second, the Jaguars. They have been to the conference championship game 3 whole times, but never won it for a variety of reasons. Anyway, next, the Panthers, who have been 500 in championship games, but also have lost the Super Bowl twice. One loss to Peyton Manning's massive forehead, and the other one a loss to Adam Vinatieri and Bill Belichick. And finally, the Bengals, who went to the league right after the Super Bowl became a thing. And they don't exactly have very good excuses, except for Joe Montana and Aaron Donald, which, I mean, fair enough, I guess. Now, the next 5 teams all splattered into this great existence of a league in the 60s, and all of them have been to the Super Bowl at least once. Good for them. Let's start with the Titans, who, as you probably know, were just 1 yard short from getting the trophy in '99. Next up, the Chargers, who lost to the Niners in the Steve Young and gave up, 49 points? Jesus! And then the 2 teams who have a combined total of 8 Super Bowl losses, both with 4. And let's just start with the Vikings. They have had many chances to win it all, even outside of the 4 losses throughout the 70s, like this, and this, and that was a bad one. But that's a video for another day. But don't forget the Bills, who infamously lost 4 straight Super Bowls, and they haven't had much of a chance outside those years, except for recently and also this. But finally, the team that was born just a year before the Super Bowl, the Atlanta Falcons. And I don't really want to talk about this one, and I'm sure you know why. So, now we are down to the 3 oldest teams, and only one of them has actually been to the Super Bowl, but let's just start with 3rd place. The Cleveland Browns, who actually started in another league in 1946, and they won every single championship in that league's history before they merged with the NFL. And they actually kept that success going into the NFL, literally right up until the Super Bowl's establishment. And ever since, it seems like a curse has been placed on them, as they have been terrible, with just 3 championship appearances, losing all to the Broncos within the same 4-year span. And also just being one of the most miserable organizations, being one of the 2 teams to go 0-16. Now let's talk about the other team that went 0-16. The Detroit Lions became an NFL team in 1930 and had major success until the Super Bowl along with the Browns, winning 4 championships and losing 1 to the Browns. But just like them, they have had only minor success in the 90s and have not won a playoff game since 1991. And as we said, have also gone 0-16, and all around just not a great team to be in the last, half century. And finally, the oldest team to never win a Super Bowl. One of the 2 teams that are still around from the NFL's first season. Give it up for the Arizona Cardinals. Now let's just look at the stats here for a second. This is a team that in 103 years of being an NFL team has missed the playoffs 78 times, made the playoffs 11 times, won 6 playoff games total, half of them in 1 year, has made it to 1 Super Bowl, and lost it. But they did win the 1947 championship game, so good for them. And the Cardinals, they've just not been good. They've moved to a lot of cities, but they have just not been a good franchise over the last 100 years. And that is every team that hasn't won a Super Bowl and the oldest team to never accomplish this feat. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.